Well, everyone, it's launch day. Arc Raiders is here, and I am here to play it with / for you. In case somehow you are not familiar, this is the brand new extraction shooter game coming from Embark, the same guys behind the finals. They've had a number of playtests so far this year that have been received quite positively, and today marks the official launch. And they've added a ton of stuff. I mean, even since the original playtests when all of this was just a still static image, now you can see when you go to like individual vendors, everything is animated and voice acted, and everything is like just way more polished, even just in the menus before you even get into the game. But what about the game itself? Well, let's get into a match and see what it has to offer. There's a number of different maps available, but as with most extraction shooters, they are going to be tiered based on difficulty, the type of loot that's available, and then there's also usually a buy-in order to get into the more difficult matches and maps, meaning that the players there will have higher level gear and loot, which makes a much higher risk and high reward, because the core concept in all extraction shooters is that if you enter into a map, you start trying to find loot, but if you die, you lose everything you have on you. It's gone. If you fail to extract, you lose everything you had. And that is true of Arc Raiders as well. Because the game just came out and I don't have any stuff, I'm gonna go to the damn battlegrounds, and you can see that currently the difficulty is rated 2 out of 5. Some of these others are rated higher, or even like practice range, was just for you trying out different weapons and stuff. But for this one, I'm gonna go here. You can inspect it if you want to get an idea of what the map has to offer, individual points of interest, and get a feeling for it. If you've done the play tests, this will all be familiar to you though. We hit confirm, and then we figure out what we want to bring with us. If anything, we ready up. I'm not gonna fill in the rest of my squad. I'm gonna go in solo, and we're gonna get into it. Now, I've played a lot of extraction shooters this year. It's sort of the new meta of live service, like multiplayer games. It's just the next big thing, apparently. Everybody's doing it. And so I have tried a lot of these, and Arc Raiders seems to be the one that has clicked with the most people. In fact, right now, as of the time of recording this video, they are at about 250,000 players concurrent on Steam right now, which is absolutely crazy because by all accounts, this is a fairly niche type of game. Like, it's pretty hardcore, but they've managed to actually break into the mainstream in a pretty significant way. I mean, we're in the middle of the day on a Thursday, and they're at 250,000 players. It's wild, absolutely wild. But here we are, and hopefully I can give you an idea of why people are clicking with this so much. So for one, it's just really well polished. It looks really good, which on paper, like, shouldn't matter that much. Yeah, it's an extraction shooter. Graphics are not everything, but it certainly does help at the very least, I think. Oh, one thing I will say, the sound design is really good. So in the distance, I can hear shots. Wonder if they're gonna go off again. They were off. Oh, off in the distance over there. There's somebody fighting. So in all extraction shooters, you have to be quite cautious and careful, especially when you go in solo, because you can get jumped at any point. If I pull up in the map, you can see in the general direction I was pointing is the Red Lakes balcony. You also have this area over here, which is the balcony lift. You have other points of interest as well where players will likely go to collect loot. So I'm gonna head over in this direction. I'm gonna put a marker down for it, but I'm gonna proceed cautiously because I don't want to get jumped if I can help it. But I will say, whenever I record these videos, I inevitably get jumped because I am a little distracted doing multiple things at once. So I'm not gonna assume that I'm gonna do amazingly well in this match. Also, I'm sorry for my lungs sounding like I just smoked 3 packs of cigarettes. I went to the gym right before filming this, and I got back and I was like, you know, I could take a shower and like relax and then film the video later today. But I've been waiting for Arc Raiders for a while. And so finally, it being here now, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. So I'm gonna look shaggy. I'm gonna be kind of sweaty, but I'm gonna do it anyways because it's Arc Raiders Day, baby. That's what we got to do. Now, to address sort of the elephant in the room, right now, Arc Raiders is sort of the definitive new extraction shooter. It seems to me that's where a lot of the interest and drive is. But like I said earlier, there's a lot of others competing in the marketplace. One of the biggest ones that's expected to come at some point in the next 6 months or so, of course, is Marathon, coming from Bungie. And Marathon, I should have paid attention because now other players may be alerted because I I sent the birds up. Marathon is one of the other big upcoming extraction shooters that is expected to come very soon. And that one, of course, is a little bit different. It's a first-person extraction shooter. It's also heavily inspired by like Apex Legends, for example, so it plays quite differently. But I think pretty clearly the results are in the pudding, you know? If people are interested in this presentation from Embark with Arc Raiders, but they're not really clicking with Marathon, I think that says pretty much everything you need to know. Like, players are just connecting with this more. Oh, dude. Partially because of these things. So you see that giant spider looking creature off in the distance? That is one of the environmental challenges that Arc Raiders has to offer. You've seen some of the little drones flying around in the sky. That is one of the bigger ones though. And these guys roam the map and they have incredible loot to offer within if you happen to kill them, but they are also extremely dangerous. And that means that you got to be quite cautious because they will see you, hear you, and they will come and get the jump on you, which, should I demonstrate this? Should I just do it for the sake of the video? I feel like I should, because these things are cool. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. You only live once, you know? I wasn't going to do well in this match anyway. Let me show you. So if I happen to be really stupid, like I'm filming a YouTube video, and I shoot the giant spider dude, let's just see how this goes. Oh, I'm just gonna get some easy kills. Oh God, no! Dude, it's so crazy. I can't breathe. I'm gonna die. Oh God, I made a mistake. Run, run, run. Get behind cover, reload, hide behind the rocks. You can't hurt me. Oh, then this guy, oh God. Oh no. Oh, I knew this was gonna happen, but it's okay. See, this is the fun though. And you can use these things sort of as environmental, maybe hazards to alert other players, but also to distract other players too. If I wanted to draw attention over to this area of the map, I could sort of aggro that spider dude and then try to pull players over there to lure them out, because players will inevitably start to try and third party if they think that there's an opportunity for easy third partying. You know, if it's like, oh, somebody was stupid and alerted the spider bot, they will start to come out of the woodwork to try and get sloppy seconds and like that. Oh, no. I probably should have shielded up before taking him on, but what are you gonna do? So in theory, that's how that would work if you were good and killed the guy that you got the jump on, which I didn't do. But what are you gonna do? What are you doing, dude? Just kill me. Okay. I was about to make fun of him so hard. Oh, he's got a finisher move? I didn't know there were finishers in this game, but that's cool. But after the match, you see this little recap where it can show you where you went. You can get a feel of when you got jumped, when you took some damage, and you can see kind of where you went. And so you can plot out more clearly where you should go next time. You can figure out and kind of retrace your steps if you need to. But once you get back, you'll see that there is long-term progression available in the game. As you can see, you can go to the skill tree for the raider, and this is how it breaks up. So one of the age-old questions with extraction shooters is like, how do you offer long-term progression to players in a way that still is fair? Because you want players to feel like after 1,000 hours, they are better set than they were day one. And for some games, they just approach it where it's like, yeah, you're better at the game. That's your reward for playing that much. But in this case, they actually do have some actual level ups and things that make you quantifiably and verifiably better after playing a lot of the game compared to when you just start. And then they encourage you to go to the more difficult and challenging maps, which is how they kind of filter high level players away from low level players. As you can see, some of these upgrades are things like wearing a shield doesn't slow you down as much. This one, survive your stamina. When you're critically hurt, your stamina regenerates faster. Some of these smaller ones, when you're downed, you take less damage. When you're downed, it takes longer before you collapse. When you're critically hurt, your health regenerates until a certain limit. Other ones, like here in the mobility area, carry the momentum after a sprint dodge roll. Sprinting does not consume stamina, which can be really, really useful. crucial. Dodge rolls cost less stamina, sprint dodge roll farther, vaulting no longer costs stamina. All of these things that can significantly increase your capabilities in matches. For this one, I'm just going to level up survival, and that gives me the ability to move faster while crouched, and that also unlocks further skill points elsewhere over here. They also have some other long-term progression things such as trials. As you can see here, this is locked until level 15. They also have projects, which are going to be smaller things at level 20 you unlock. Construct a caravan to send your raider off on an expedition beyond the Rust Belt. All sorts of things like that for long-term progression, which is crucial because these types of games, again, they're not just about getting you to play for a day or a weekend. They want you playing these games for weeks, months, or years. They want it to become your next big thing, especially because they do have the ability to go in solo, but they also want you to play this with your buddies and with your friends and to fill in a squad. So I will actually go with crossplay on, and I will fill the squad, and I'll play with some strangers because all of my friends have actual jobs right now and are working. So I will play with some strangers and we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna fill out a really simple loadout. As you can see, I can take this, which is the combat Mark 1. I can also take these, which are the looting Mark 1s. Basically, they just are kind of like backpacks that offer different bonuses or perks. The looting one offers more like individual slots, whereas this one will give you a shield. I can take this weapon. Maybe if I want to take a pistol too, I could do that. But I can take individual pieces of ammo, some bandages if I want. And you basically just build a loadout based on what you're feeling that you need or how you're feeling in the moment for going into the match. Or you can go with nothing if you want nothing and you just want to pick up stuff in the match itself. They also offer you a rookie loadout or a free loadout, as they also call it. But basically, this offers you a really basic setup for you to just get into the match if you want. So you can customize it if you want to. You can go with the free loadout if you want to as well. If you do that, you just hit ready up and then you're good to go. And just like that, we are in a match with Scob, Queef, and myself. Boom. We're set. So in the game, typically they would of course encourage you to do voice chat for obvious reasons. While recording these videos, I can't really do that, but normally you'd be chatting with your teammates and relying on that type of communication to coordinate with each other. But of course, ideally you're playing with friends and your buddies and pals so that you can work through buildings together, working together to find loot and to progress through the match until eventually extracting. You know, this brings up one of the common frustrations with some of these extraction shooter type games, which is that the stakes are so high because if you die, you lose everything that you brought with you and everything that you found in the match. That it really matters who you're matched with, because if you have a teammate who's just really, really bad, or that doesn't care, runs off, gets killed immediately, or is recording a YouTube video when he should be helping, it can make it really, really difficult to feel as though your death was fair or your failure was fair, which is a huge, huge problem in all sorts of games. You know, challenge and difficulty is great so long as it feels justified and balanced and fair. The moment that it starts to feel like the game cheated you or your teammates cheated you, it's not fun anymore. You know, it feels bad. It feels like you were tricked or robbed of the joy that you should be having, considering you paid a premium for the game, in this case $40 for Arc Raiders, which is what it costs. So usually matching with quality teammates is really, really important in games like this. And I think that there's, to a certain extent, some self-guided filtration that will happen just naturally, if that's the right way of putting it, where like, because you're paying a premium, the people that are playing the game also paid the premium, so they are like invested in the game at the very least. But then also, just in a practical sense, once you've put in a good amount of time and you've leveled up and progressed, you will be playing matches against other players that have put a lot of time into the game and leveled up and gathered a bunch of loot. But you'll also be matching with other players who are in the same spot. Some games handle this by having like a ranked mode. So if you're playing in like gold lobbies, you're playing against and with other gold players. So if you're not playing with your friends, you can at least rely on at least a little bit of competence to be guaranteed just by nature of the fact that they can qualify for those matches. I will say though, so far, Queef and Scob have been quite solid. We've collected a good amount of loot so far. Nobody's running off. They're sticking together. I think they're in a party together just based on like how they've interacted with each other. They're sharing loot and stuff. So I think that that's probably why they're working well together, but I guess time will tell. We'll see how it works once we get into a match together, or into a fight together, rather. I will also say it's really nice to see Embark finding a lot of success right now. Like, the finals is one of my favorite shooter games, period, on the market, and it has been for a while. It's so underrated. It really, really is. But now that they are finding a lot of success with Arc Raiders, it's really, really cool to see, because they deserve it. They've done amazing work for a very, very long time. And seeing that this is finally clicking with a lot of people is really, really exciting. I'm really happy to see it. So this area on the map right here, I can show you, is a high loot area. So it's expected to have a lot of really good stuff, but it also means that there's probably going to be other players in here too. I'm going to preemptively get rid of a lot of this stuff. As you can see, I can just drag and drop. So anything that I don't think is super valuable or worth having, I can just kind of dump and move on. And then I free up space for other higher quality pieces of loot that I want instead. With these types of extraction shooters though, a lot of it's gonna come down to your experience in the game to know like what's good and what's worth having. It was actually an interesting conversation I had with one of the designers working on Marathon when I went out to Bungie's offices back in April, I wanna say, to try Marathon early. And when we were out there, it was fascinating because most of their questions for us centered around not like, how much fun did we have? What were your favorite abilities or weapons and things? Their questions were like, how did you decide what to take? How did you decide what inventory items to like drop? And oh God, no. Oh no. I made the mistake of trying to talk while outside. There we go. There we go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Much better. Feel better now. Oh no, there's more. There's more. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is what I get. This is what I get. But I will say it was interesting, just specifically that they were trying to figure out how players sorted through and sifted through certain things, choosing to take one item over another instead of, you know, why did you take this green item instead of this purple item? Why did you choose to drop this gun and use this gun instead? Like, and I didn't realize at the time when they were asking, but it makes sense why that would be a point of discussion and something that they were really curious about, just because, of course, like, it's really tough to communicate to players what is valuable and what's not, other than just really simple color coding and stuff like that, which is inevitably what it kind of came down to and what we kind of explained to them. I was like, I mainly sort based on color. If I see something that is purple, I assume that it's probably more valuable than the thing that is green or that's blue. And that's just something I've been conditioned to believe, having played a bunch of these types of games. You know, that's just, I think, what most people do. But they're like, oh, interesting. So even if the value, like in the currency, if we put a currency on the item, if that currency amount is higher, you'll still take the better colored item instead of the higher value item. And I was, yeah, oh, that's interesting. So it's just fascinating to see how game designers have to think about this stuff and how they have to communicate little bitty things that you might not ever really consider, that you might take for granted. You know, it's just fascinating to me. But that's game design for you. And that's one thing I will say about all of these extraction shooters that I've been playing this year, is it is fascinating how many things are constantly adjusted and changed. And even like little bitty things that probably don't matter that much to individuals, just like one person or another, but they do matter when it all starts to add up. You know, it kind of goes against common sense or what you would expect, but little bitty things like how you color coded something, if you put something with a blue label on it instead of a green label, that could have major implications for balancing and what the vast majority of the average player will do if they don't know with experience that item might not be as good as is indicated by the color, right? You know, it's just fascinating to me. Because after all, a lot of game design really does come down to communication. How do you communicate to players what they should be doing, what they need to do, where they should be going, what will be fun? Because like there are some things that people, oh God, that players will start to infer that may not actually lead to them having fun. Like it may work in terms of what is conducive to completing an objective, but it may not actually be fun. I may get downed because my team left me and I'm all alone. Are they running off without me? Are they leaving me be? No way. No way. Come back. Baby, come back. No way. Are they really gonna leave me? This is kind of what I was saying about like teammates. Like I was following, I to be fair, was a good bit over encumbered for a little bit. So I was lagging a little behind, but are they really just gonna abandon ya boy? Like I get it. I get it. I wasn't like right on their butts, but that's kind of crazy, man. Yeah, they do not care. Wow. Okay. This happens with randoms. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Queef kind of let me down. But this is also one of the difficulties with extraction shooters is that I played the match and I collected all this stuff and now it's all gonna go away and everything I had on me is just gone. So that entire match is basically a wash now because Mr. Queef and Scob didn't want to come back and try to res me. You can see there's other bodies of, I'm assuming, players that got dropped here. Maybe that's who they were fighting. I'm not sure. But this is just something that happens in these types of games, and it can be quite frustrating. And it's the real difficulty for extraction shooters, I think more generally, is that they have to find ways to keep players engaged, even after they have something really frustrating where they're like, I wasn't trying to leave my team behind. I was running to the extraction. I got down by robots and they didn't come back and res me. I'm frustrated. Like that frustration is something that a lot of players will feel, and you have to find ways to keep them engaged enough that they'll continue playing at least past the 2-hour refund mark. But that's just, you know, that's the puzzle that they have to solve. Well, even so, I wish Queef and Scob the best, even though they left your boy to die. And yeah, they're not even gonna try. Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. At the very least, you do level up after those matches, even if you got down. So you are still gaining XP by just completing various activities, which is nice. You can go to the workshop. You can see Scrappy here is our little rooster friend, and you can claim these items once you level up, and that helps you craft stuff if you want, whatever you need to do. You can also train if you have a dog collar, which is one of the items you can collect in matches. And you can have it gather even more supplies with a more confident strut. And then if you want to actually craft stuff, you just go to like the workbench, and then you can see here, oh, I want to craft the looting Mark 1. This takes 18 or 6 rather plastic parts and 6 rubber parts. I can just hold down craft and it'll build it out there. Or if I want to just buy stuff, like I said at the top of the video, you can go to traders, go to the individual vendor. Maybe I need a gun. I can go here and just find the gun that I need and purchase that with the in-game currency. Important to note though, as far as I understand it, the in-game currency, you cannot buy that with real money, which is important for balancing, because if you could buy it, you would just end up with people that had deep wallets paying for in-game currency, then buying through those traders the highest end gear and weapons and stuff like that, and it wouldn't be fair, because if you had more money, you literally could get better stuff endlessly. Instead, if you have in-game currency, either from like the deluxe edition, or if you just paid for it up front, you can go to the store and you can see that there's all sorts of cosmetics and stuff here. So if you want to get a hat for our friend, our friend little rooster man, you can do that if you want. And I will say Embark typically has some pretty cool cosmetics with a lot of their games, so they usually do a pretty good job. And here they've done it as well. It is pricey, of course, but it is optional. I think this roughly equates to like 20 bucks for each one of these packs, which is a lot for like color scheme changes and then some different like jackets and stuff. But again, it's cosmetic. You literally don't need it, so make of that what you will. And you can see even after that match not getting rezzed by Queef, I can still level up again and apply the skill point to the skill tree and continue playing. So even if your teammates don't help you, you can still progress. But you know what? I have to end this video on an actual extraction. So I'm going to turn off Fill Squad and I'm going to go in solo again. I'm going to do a really straightforward match and I will extract. I swear. That's how we're ending this video. I'm going to do it. Okay, I loaded in the match. I've been going for like just 5 minutes, but I just found another player and this could be This could be where it all goes bad. I'm so startled. Oh, come off it. I missed him. I just suck. Dude, I didn't even check the corner. After all that, I'm like, I'm gonna be so tactical. I'm gonna be so careful. And then I didn't even freaking check the corner. Wow. That's unbelievable. Oh, did he have a teammate still too? Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Well, I got him down. And then I guess his teammate came and got me, but oh well. Oh well, at least I got him down. Is that not your teammate? I can revive him. Oh no, is it just a third party or is it a teammate? Oh no. Oh, it's a third party, dude. Oh, but I got the knockout though. It still counted as a kill. I'll take it. Okay. You know, I could complain about that, but honestly, I'll take it. Okay, I tried again. We're gonna see if this actually happens. I'm opening the vault. There are robots around. There's also a couple of bodies on the extraction point. So somebody has been watching this and jumping players who are leaving. Maybe they already left and extracted and I'm coming in after the fact. I haven't heard anybody, but you can never be too careful in these games. You gotta be cautious. And that's what I'm gonna try to do. Yeah, maybe we did it. We did it. Take that, Queef and Scob. Take that. I did it. Okay, and once you've extracted, you can unload your backpack into your inventory. You can see you got all sorts of stuff, but we can continue. You level up, got some skill points, continue on, and then we're good. So of course, this is just a little bitty taste of Arc Raiders. I mean, obviously there's a lot more to the game. This literally just launched today. So there's a lot more. There's a lot more maps. There's a lot more things to be found, environmental hazards, points of interest and stuff, but this is basically what Arc Raiders is. And I think when you play with your friends, it is significantly more fun even than just the base experience. I played a good amount of it during the play tests and had a really good time. And I know a lot of other people did as well, which is why it's doing so well on launch day. And I encourage you to check it out yourself if this is the type of game that interests you. It's a really well executed one. Embark knows what they're doing. The finals is phenomenal. Doesn't get anywhere near enough love for what it is. It's fantastic. So I know that Embark is capable of doing this idea and this game justice, and so far they've done a really good job. And as far as a launch version of a live service game, it's going very, very well. I've had no server issues, no matchmaking issues, nothing. It's just solid, really polished, and it's great to see. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know if you're gonna be checking out Arc Raiders yourself down in the comment section below. Maybe we can hop on in a party together. If you join our members and Twitch sub Discord group, we could all party up or something. That could be super fun. I don't know, let me know. Are you gonna check it out? Comment below, let me know. That's gonna do it for me. Thank you for watching. I love you all desperately, and I'll see you in the next video. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.